How's my people doing? Melanated family. How's everybody doing? This is your brother Harrison, the Melanated Combo. I'm back. You feel me? Ready to get this thing popping. Let me see. Before I get started, I gotta send a shout out to everybody who came and participated in the fourth annual Father's Day. Softball game, sponsored by Melanated Fathers of America, my organization, Thompson Rose Chapel, my family's organization. So this is the fourth year that we've been able to do this, family, and I'm proud, man. We've been able to put together an event where fathers come out, people from the community come out, and we just have a good time. We center the game around, or we center the event around softball, which, my idea for us playing softball is all based around um, staying in shape, like being active as parents, being active as men. Like we all know in our community, a lot of the times when we look at older Black people who are suffering different ailments, a lot of the time this is based on how we eat. This is based on the traditional things that we like to eat. This is based on us not working out. So this past Saturday, I had my fourth annual Father's Day softball game. It was a great event, great turnout. We eat food, play a great game, listen to music, have a jump house for the kids. We have snow cones for everybody out there. So it was a great event, man. I'm just happy to be in a position where I can continually do this. But I want to send a shout out to everybody that came and participated, in the fourth annual Father's Day softball game that happened on the 18th, which was this past Saturday. I know Juneteenth is the 19th, but I put so much time and energy into making sure this game goes the right way that Sunday I be just beat. You know what I mean? So I don't really be in a position to um, celebrate Juneteenth the way that I would like to. But, let's shout out to everybody who had a great weekend. You feel me? Celebrating Juneteenth. I seen a lot of people out in my city. There's a lot of events where there's vendors and all different type of avenues where we're acknowledging this event. You see what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. Even though, just to keep it 1,000, I'm an advocate of anything my people put forth that's going to shed light on our existence, like us celebrating us for whatever reason. Like I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Even though with Juneteenth, like finding out late that slavery was over, I'm not such a big proponent of celebrating that per se, but I'm with my people. And I like the fact that events or days and holidays like Juneteenth make a lot of Black people buckle down and get an understanding of where we come from, getting understanding of African traditions and spirituality. That's what I'm gonna talk a little bit about today. But so I fuck with that. Like anything to bring us together, anything that make regular Black folks say, hey, there's an African component to this thing we do. There's a history component to this thing we do. You know what I mean? Because I think it's really imperative that we, like, people who consider themselves conscious, people who know about history and speak about it and use it in their everyday endeavors. The individuals in our community who don't see shit this way, like the individuals we have in the hood, the individuals we have in our society who Black, who don't really identify with our history as much. That's why I appreciate events or holidays like Juneteenth, because it creates a conversation around what the fuck we doing. You know what I mean? I always like that conversation. Let's break it down to, okay, as Black folks, get everybody else out the room. What the fuck we doing? You see what I'm saying? So Juneteenth is a montage to that type of mentality. So I rock with it. Even though, like, I got to keep it real when I say this. Like, I don't remember how, like, the moment that Joe Biden said he was going to make Juneteenth a holiday, I'm not going to front. I don't remember how we felt. Like, I can't go back to that time specifically and think if it was a lot of outrage, if it was people celebrating. I can't remember specifically, but I do know the past several months when I've been watching all the commercialization of Juneteenth with the goddamn Walmart Juneteenth ice cream, all these white companies getting in on it, and I see people in our community complaining. Look, y'all, I know some of us didn't ask for Juneteenth to be a holiday. Like, we was going to celebrate that regardless. But we got to be careful what we ask for, though. You see what I'm saying? Because I do know individuals who was happy that Joe Biden acknowledged it. They was happy that it was going to be commemorated as a holiday. Be careful what you ask America to come in on. You feel me? So everybody who complaining about the ice cream and the commercialization of this particular holiday, I don't know what the fuck you expected when you asked America to come in. When you asked America to join, this is what they're gonna do. They're gonna turn it into a profit-based activity so they can get their money off of it, like they do all their holidays. See? So I say next time there's a historical event that we want to commemorate every year, keep that shit to ourselves. We ain't got to get nobody involved. We ain't got to tell America or put it in a position where we need to be acknowledged. Sometimes that's a double-edged sword. When we say, hey, this has been happening, this has been happening, this has happened, this has happened. Can y'all acknowledge? Can y'all say y'all knew it was happening? Be careful, right? When we ask America to come in, they fuck shit up a lot of times. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised to see Juneteenth ice cream in Walmart. I said, par for the course. Next time, let's just say, hey, let's social media, all the avenues we have to communicate, like in like a black network, let's talk to each other and leave America out of that shit. You see what I'm saying? Then we ain't got to worry about Juneteenth ice cream, goddammit. But nonetheless, in my city of Sacramento, there was events for Juneteenth. There was African-inspired clothing, a movement. I'm all for that, no matter what day, what we got to use to get to that point. I fuck with that. So everybody who celebrated Juneteenth, I hope you got some cultural relevance out of it. You know what I mean? Not just a day where you can go chill and eat and see different foods and different vendors, but maybe you did a little research. Maybe you said, okay, from now on, I'm going to make sure I research certain things and get an understanding of how all this came about and just know your goddamn history. You know what I mean? So Juneteenth is whatever, but I'm all about knowing your history. I'm all about researching your history, taking historical monuments, historical events, and memorializing them. I'm all for that. You know what I mean? But long story short, I had my 4th annual Father's Day softball game. It was a great turnout. Thank you for everybody who took their time. That event, family, for me, being a father of 5, being in a situation where I at times be like at odds with my children, just to keep it 1,000. You know what I mean? Not to say I was a bad father with them growing up or nothing, but I've been at odds with them. Just them not being raised with me being a young dude, me approaching things the wrong way. But one thing I always knew, one thing I mastered, I'm not gonna fuck with nobody tell me. I know my history. You see what I'm saying? One thing I mastered as a young father is I mastered the art of time. Like I knew how important spending time with my kids was. Finances, communication, leadership, all these things had to come to me a little later. But spending time, the importance of time, I've always been aware of that. So shout out to everybody who came and participated in the 4th annual Father's Day softball game. I appreciate you, family. We had such a good time. We had some good food. And, you know, every year I look and I think, okay, how can I make adjustments? What could I do to make things better? So we're going to keep doing that and bringing Black people together under like positive energy is what all of us should be trying to do. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully everybody had a good Juneteenth weekend. My softball game was this weekend. But what I want to talk to everybody about real quick. I seen the video. I have a couple things that I want to touch on real quick. Oh, yeah. Like, subscribe. If you ain't a subscriber to the Melanated Convo YouTube channel, you playing with yourself, family. You playing with yourself. We be getting it in. You feel me? The interviews, the conversations, the history, all of it. It's right there on the Melanated Convo YouTube channel. And now I've revamped the Melanated Convo website. So you can go to melanatedconvo.com, right? On this website, you can find this show. Of course, the catalyst for the site is to showcase this show and what we do here. But also there's news stories. There's news stories of different things going on in our society that pertain to melanated people. You can find it there. You can also find History Matters section where we go into the history, the different things I've taken from my YouTube page. We put them on the website. So the website will be like a landing page for everybody who have who may have an issue finding the show or may have an issue locating it on social media or whatever, melanatedconvo.com is the only place you need to go if you want to fuck with your boy. You feel me? Now, let's get into it. I seen a video last week. It took me a while to kind of get around. I've been busy, y'all. But I seen a video last week of the sister Tasha K. I'm sure all of you are aware of the popular YouTuber. YouTuber sounds so cheap, you know. The popular radio show host, the popular host of her YouTube channel, Tasha K. Very popular sister. 1 million subscribers. Like, I salute that sister, like on some real shit. You know what I mean? However, I don't always agree with her content. I don't always agree with how she approaches conversations, and that's cool. We don't, as Black folks, we need to get to a point where we can disagree respectfully. That's part of my whole shit being on YouTube and in this new space I find myself in, family. I try to make sure, sometimes I'll see a news story or something pertaining to somebody Black that I think y'all can benefit from, like on an intellectual level, right? So I'm figuring out ways to say, okay, boom, I want to talk about this incident or talk about this situation without bashing the person. The person may be the catalyst for why I have the information. But I don't got to bash him. I don't got to shit on him. I don't have to negate their efforts just to make myself feel good or look good. You see what I'm saying? But nonetheless, Tasha K has a nice YouTube channel. Check it out if you haven't. Talks about gossip and different things going on that I don't particularly rock with, but a lot of people do. So shout out to that sister. You feel me? But the sister had, hold on one second. The sister had Young Pharaoh on her show recently. Young Pharaoh is again, I don't want to use this term, a YouTuber or a gentleman on YouTube who spits a lot of facts. Young Pharaoh has a wealth of knowledge about Black history, about African history. He speaks truth to power, and he's unapologetically Black. He's a young Black man who come from the street culture, like one of the young niggas who come from street culture, so they're familiar with that side of things, but decided that they wanted to seek knowledge and get an understanding of history. So I salute this young brother for the path he has, that he's attempting to take. In his videos, his information be A1 a lot of the times. You know what I mean? So I salute any Black man on this type of path. You feel me? But here's the problem I have, family, because, and again, I'm not shitting on Tasha K. I don't rock with her content per se, but I've seen interviews and shit she may have had that I liked and I tuned in. You know what I mean? So there's been things I've seen from her that I appreciate, but at the end of the day, this is like a level of ignorance that like everybody in our community has to be aware of this level of ignorance, right? So I'm gonna play a video where she interviews the brother Young Pharaoh. I'm gonna cut in and out because I got a lot to say about it, but this can't happen in our community. Look, family, when it comes to the Black man and Black woman, this country has done a number on us as far as making sure we're divided in different ways. It can come from just the masculine, feminine. It can come from a religious base. It can come from a relationship base. It can come from all the confusion that was instituted when we got here in this country. There's a lot of shit that we become separated by, and none of it's our doing, though. A lot of it's based on the leadership in this country. A lot of it's based on the ideology of America, where, keeping it real, whether you want to say you Aboriginal or you from Africa, none of this shit is ours. These practices, these standards, none of this shit reflects where we come from, even if a lot of it's been stolen from us. But at the end of the day, if we talking religion, right? If we talking African spirituality, I think one of the biggest things all Black people have to do, if we're talking some unity shit, right? If we're talking unifying, if we're talking being on a common playing field just for the sake of whatever discussion we having, you have to have an open mind. There's no way around having an open mind, whether you a religious brother, whether you a brother that's in the 5%, whether you a Muslim brother, whether you a atheist brother, whatever your belief system. If we gonna unify or do shit as a unit or come together, as everybody say, there's gonna have to be some common ground. There's gonna have to be like like a level of understanding, like a clear-minded approach to everything we looking at, right? So I'm gonna play an interview she did with the brother Young Pharaoh. This is a small piece of the interview. I'm gonna add my commentary because this way of thinking is detrimental to all of us, family. So let's get into it real quick. I want to make this screen bigger. Happy to be back, man. How's everybody doing? This good Tuesday. It is hot as hell outside. I hope everybody is wellly hydrated. You feel me? Got your water, got your H2O, little energy drink, whatever you into, but stay hydrated, man, because it's hot as hell out there. Hold on, let me back it up a little bit. I want to play a little bit a little bit of this for y'all. And like I said, if you're just joining me, this is the video with the sister Tasha K, popular YouTuber Tasha K, interviewing my brother Young Pharaoh, who's a young historian, young street dude who decided to use his knowledge and expertise to help Black folks. Even though he's not perfect, I rock with this young brother. So let me let y'all listen to a little bit of this. Hold on one second, family.
Cost of my artifacts.
Right.
Listen to me, right?
Okay.
As a black woman, you asking me about the cost of my artifacts.
Right.
That you would say are jewelry. These are artifacts.
Oh.
Yeah. When I pass away, these just going in the museum somewhere. Artifacts. Not to be touched. Now, you more worried about the value of these artifacts other than the symbolism. Let me ask you, what does this mean?
I don't know what that means. It looks
Exactly.
like the LG.
So wait, I'm going to be coming in and out of this video because I got a lot to say about how she's approaching this young brother. So we need to get rid of all forms of ignorance in our community, family. Check it out. If you, and this is a part of this is to my Christian brothers and sisters, right? If you a Christian brother or sister who, that's what you believe in. You believe in God, you believe in Jesus, you believe in the Bible, all these sentiments. Look, some of us don't believe in that shit. Some of us are got strong feelings about this information when it comes to the accuracy of it, when it comes to how it has affected Black people. Even though that's the case, when I see a Christian brother or sister, my whole thing is, if you're using the Bible to become a better person, if you're using the Bible to better you, better your family, better your relationships, use it. I'm not gonna be negative about it. I'm not gonna speak ill about you. I'm not gonna do none of that. I'm gonna ask questions. We can have a conversation. We can find a common ground. What this sister is doing, and I don't know if she playing or she 100 about it, but what this sister's doing is highly like detrimental to our community. Like being this close-minded, nothing good can come from this. You feel me? Like, because you don't have to, if somebody believes in African spirituality, if you don't understand it, ask questions. Have a purposeful dialogue so you can get some out of it. This sister is preferencing the fact that he has on a lot of jewelry, right? Like, outside looking in, you see a Black man with a lot of jewelry on, you thinking flossing, you thinking negative shit, you thinking he's selling drugs, you thinking he's trying to show you his jewelry to make up for the lack of his self-worth. I get it. I know where you're coming from, but that's not all of us. Like, judging a book by its cover is actually some foul shit. We always make that correlation, but that's not something you should do. So this sister on a platform as big as hers to approach this young brother like this is counterproductive, in my opinion. So let's continue. So at this point, she's questioning his jewelry, because like I said, I'm guessing she said, okay, this is just a nigga like any other nigga. This is just jewelry he's wearing. Well, maybe it means something to him. Maybe he got information behind it. Maybe there's knowledge behind what you deem niggatry. You know what I mean? So here, listen to a little more of this, family.
Exactly. You ain't even asked.
What does it mean? Walk us through it. No, seriously.
This is called the flower of life.
Okay.
Same thing I got tatted on my hand.
Okay.
1.618. Now, I believe in divinity. my indictment number was 01618. That's the Fibonacci sequence. That is the level of, I mean, anything in the universe. If I take that paper cup and I rip it up, even if it's in different sizes, it's always going to have a mathematical ratio of 1.618.
Yeah.
This right here is the story of the universe. When you having a child, right? In the embryo in your womb is developing into a fetus, it develops at a mathematical ratio of 1.618.
Okay.
So this right here is literally the story of creation.
Hold it up to the camera so they can see it.
It's the story of creation within the universe, in alignment with the chakra system.
Okay.
So you said the LGBTQ, I'm assuming, because it looks like rainbow colors.
Yeah, it looks like rainbow colors.
Now the LGBTQ, which is a little satanic sect operated by George Soros, actually reversed the chakras. The rainbow is the visible light spectrum, which is in the center of the electromagnetic spectrum of the sun.
Okay.
And so you have red to purple. After purple, you get 780 terahertz level of vibration in light, and then it begins to solidify and become melanin. And then the sunlight hits the nitrogen in the atmosphere, specifically nitrogen 14. Nitrogen 14 converts into carbon 12, and this is like carbon is 99% throughout the universe. So I said to say this, the visible light spectrum is the chakras, it's the rainbow. And then when you reverse the chakras.
Okay, real quick. Like I said, I'm going to dip in and out the video. What do you think somebody should do if you hear a brother talking like this, right? And let's say you don't know what the fuck he's talking about, right? You've never heard these words put together the way he's putting them together. You have no idea what he's talking about. What is the correct course of action to be like as productive as possible as an individual in this society? What should you do if you see all this or you hear all this and think, I don't know what the fuck this brother's talking about? Are you going to come down on him? Are you going to speak in a negative tone? Are you going to be condescending? No. What you should do is write this shit down, wait till the camera go off if you need to, get the information from him, look it up yourself. Then come back and have a great dialogue with him about whether it's true, whether it ain't true. If we see any black man, because I'm tired of this shit, like to a degree, just 1 second real quick, family. Something that I see that I don't like a lot. A lot of black men get like this Hotep claim, right? So if you're speaking about a black man who is using African spirituality, African history to get women, to fraud people, to be a scammer. Fuck that nigga. I'm not talking about none of that kind of stuff. The most of the people I see, right, who are seeking knowledge and use African spirituality, or they start reading and gaining knowledge in all these different areas, they're just seeking the truth. Now, of course, at the same time, this is still a black man. So this is still a black man who probably had a single mother, who probably got some trauma he's still dealing with. So I'm tired of, we get to spaces where we see a black man doing something positive, right? He not rapping, he not selling dope, he kicking history or knowledge, whatever the case may be. Then you find out he got a baby mama, or you find out he had a domestic dispute. You find out he did something you don't like, and all of a sudden we canceling him. Family, ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody perfect at all. So you're going to get individuals who know information, know history, know how to teach it, conveying something that's true, but they may got demons. They may got something going on. And what the fuck that got to do with you? How was the message? You feel me? Now, I'm not rocking with pedophiles. I'm not rocking with people who touch kids. I'm not rocking with people who just do murder for no reason. I have a line. But if I'm talking about a black man who just speaking truth to power, and he may have some personal issues, or he may have said something, stop all that shit. Stop all the judgment. So Tasha K could mean very well. This was a whole interview. I'm always going to keep it in a contextual space. This is a whole interview that I have not seen. I've seen pieces of it, but from this, in another clip I seen, the antagonistic methods, like the going about this in a way where this brother's crazy or something's wrong with him, all because he's speaking some spiritual shit. He's speaking something you may not know. This is ignorance, family. Let's continue to listen to a little more of this.
You get the upside down rainbow. So in your mind, you connected this with the LGBTQ because that is a form of brain control. They take the universal science and they pervert it. And then when you see it.
Could it not just be that we want to include everybody?
Okay, see here's the thing. Again, I have nothing personal against Tasha K. I've seen videos of hers that I don't like. I've seen a couple interviews that I do like. This sister has built a great platform. I fuck with her for that. But this is fucking ignorant. To say this brother is dropping science on you about how the signs and the symbols that are used in this country are a lot of times perverted and taken from African shit just to kind of fuck your mind up. This is fact, family. Now, again, if you don't know any of this, you never heard of this, you don't know nothing about this, shut the fuck up, ask questions, research later. But to simplify it, he say, look, you looking at this symbol I got in my medallion, you see it as an LGBT symbol. I'm telling you the history of this symbol. Let's just say she don't believe he telling the truth. I don't believe in just going along with anybody. Say, research it first. Research it first. But what if we just want to include this go along to get along shit? This is not helpful, family. Again, I don't knock anybody who hustle. You got a platform where you talk about gossip, you talk about whatever. The business acumen required at times to get to the level she at, I fuck with that. But to what point? Like, what are we really fucking doing out here? That's why I got to continue doing what I'm doing, because too many people just want to shuck and jive. Can I keep it real? Too many niggas just want to shuck and jive, dance, use the lower form of your thinking pattern. I know this is easier. I know this is more beneficial. I know this can be more lucrative financially, but who gives a shit if we in a situation where black folks in America getting killed, getting disenfranchised, getting put in all of these awkward ass positions by the system that we still dealing with in 2022. I'm gonna play a couple videos after this one, or talk about a few things after this one to highlight the fact that a lot of the shit that has always been happening to us in this country is still happening now. And we got niggas like this who are frowning upon African spirituality, but I bet she believe in Christianity, though. I don't know this to be a fact, but I put money on it. I put money on it that she believe in a Jesus. You feel me? Listen to a little bit more of this, man. When I first seen this video, I got kind of upset, family, to see an older black person. She my age, she 40 and over, speaking about African spirituality in our history in a way that's so negligent. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be nice here. Man, in a way that's so negligent. You feel me? So listen to a little more of this.
From every way.
It does not matter if you want to include everybody. You have to ask somebody. Listen here, we bring some blood and some Crips in here. We can include them, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm a gangbanger.
I mean, we do.
But you still got to ask them why they throwing up pitchforks.
Snoop Dogg is throwing up signs on national TV.
Who throws up a pitchfork?
Uh-huh.
Why you throwing up a pitchfork? All I'm saying is people need to start explaining their behavior around here.
Okay.
Explain why you got that on. Explain, just like you asked me what direction. Yeah. Why can't I ask people, what is that symbol about?
What is that bracelet? What does that represent?
Oh, this is just flyness right here.
Oh, it's just flyness?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is flyness right here.
All right, what about the other rings right there? Hold them up so they can see them.
Okay, this is that camera right there?
Yeah.
This is the Eye of Horus right here. Also got this tatted on my face.
Okay.
And Derek Grace's wife stole my tattoo, so now I'm going to keep shooting my shot at his wife on purpose.
Well, I saw Brother Polite with that tattoo.
No, you didn't. You seen him with paint on his face. You didn't see him with a tattoo. Let's be specific here.
Okay.
You ain't never seen nobody on the planet Earth with this tattoo until I got it.
Okay.
And then his wife copied.
Okay.
But she didn't copy.
Okay, here. And this is the other thing, right?
What?
This is the thing that
these are artifacts.
Here, no, I rewind it a little too far. But this is another thing, right? Sometimes when I'm listening to a young black brother who is knowledgeable, right? Sometimes men have ego. Sometimes men can come off a little full of themselves. Sometimes men, Like there's some traits that come with being a man at times, and the better of us try to ward off these practices. You know what I mean? Like using your ego, being arrogant about shit, being obviously arrogant, right? But I know how to put this shit to the side based on the knowledge you kicking, based on the understanding. Like if you come off a little arrogant as a black man, sometime you got to, right? Sometime if you want to get to where you're trying to go, if you want to stake your claim in whatever it is you're doing, you got to let motherfuckers know, no, I'm here. I'm here and I'm doing this my way. But unfortunately, white folks and sometimes black folks, just like Tasha K right now, you see a black man talking confidently. He's talking with confidence. His chest is out. He ain't looking to the fucking ground. Oh, he arrogant. Why you doing all this? Why? God damn, man. It's bad enough we got to deal with this shit with people outside of our community. I'm sorry, y'all. This clip I'm playing from the sister Tasha K, this shit's embarrassing. Again, I don't know if she's playing. I don't know if there's more information that I'm missing, but how she's interviewing this young brother who's nothing but a knowledge seeker, right? Who got his problems like every other person walking the earth. But it's a lot of brothers I know who don't give a shit about history. It's a lot of brothers I know who don't even take the time to read a book to get this type of knowledge. So when the brother do, the first thing you gonna say is, what this mean? What, you know what I mean? It's kind of insulting the way she approaching the brother. But let me finish it real quick for y'all.
Oh.
Yeah, so in your mind, you connected this with the LGBTQ because they
represent.
Oh, this just fly, and they act like tattoo.
Okay.
And Derek Grace's wife stole my tattoo, so now I'm gonna keep shooting my shot at his wife on purpose.
Well, I saw Brother Polite with that tattoo.
No, you didn't. You seen him with paint on his face. You didn't see him with a tattoo. Let's be specific here.
Okay.
You ain't never seen nobody on the planet Earth with this tattoo until I got it.
Okay.
And then his wife copied.
Okay.
But she didn't copy and say, you know what, I was inspired by Young Pharaoh. She copied and then act like she did it first. And she's a black woman. But I ain't gonna say nothing to her because if I do, I'm gonna be bullying. So now I'm gonna say something to her nigga. And now I want to fight her nigga.
Do you not believe in like you setting trends?
No, I believe in giving people their credit.
But not everybody's gonna give you credit. They may just see you and be inspired.
That's called intellectual disingenuousness.
Why? They don't know you. Did she know you?
It doesn't matter. When I give lectures, I don't say I found something out if I didn't find it out. I say this is where I got it from. Because that's called intellectual integrity. That's a thing.
Okay.
Like you can get kicked out of the scientific community for that. You can't steal somebody else's work.
I mean, that's citing someone's work. That's plagiarism or whatever you call it.
This means something to me.
What does it mean?
This right here is symbolic to oneness within the mind. So this right here looks like an eye, but it's actually glands and capacities within the brain. So the eyebrow is symbolic to thought, right? This right here is symbolic to smell. This right here is the tongue. It's symbolic to taste. This right here is symbolic to physical touch. Taste, touch, sight, sound, smell. And then your eye is your pineal gland. It's called your third eye because it actually has an iris in the same tissues as your eye. You actually have an eye in your head. And so the eye of Horus, if you was to take the left and right hemispheres of the brain and separate them, you have what's called the corpus callosum in medical science. That looks exactly like this because it is. And our ancestors knew in Egypt that you only have one sense, which is your electromagnetic field, touch. In order for you to smell, atoms and molecules have to touch your nostrils. In order for you to hear, sound waves have to touch the bones in your ears, called bone conduction. In order for you to taste, food has to touch your tongue. In order for you to see, light has to touch your eyes. So you only really have one physical sense, which is touch. And you divide that one sense through feeling, just like they made that movie, The Sixth Sense. But anyway, that is what this is symbolic to. And I got this tattooed on my right eye because this is symbolic to my intellectual, my logistics side. On your right side is considered the eye of Ra, the all-seeing eye. So this means something to me spiritually. This is why I got it. I don't know why the fuck she went and got it.
Well, maybe it means something to her spiritually as well.
Well, why would you act like you? Why?
So again, I'm gonna get to a little more of the video, but this brother is dropping science, and it's I'm always perplexed, family, when I see Black Americans specifically so in tune with the sentiments of the Bible, so in tune with Easter, in the relevance of Christmas and all this bullshit. But you get a brother talking about African spirit. Again, if you don't know this to be true, if you're hearing him speak and you don't know it to be true, research it yourself. But I would bet money that Tasha K would consider herself a Christian when she ain't never read the whole Bible, ain't never read the whole Quran, ain't never done like a thoughtful perusal of all of these texts to get a great understanding of what she should believe in and what she shouldn't believe in. So my point is, you shouldn't shit on African spirituality if you around here practicing paganism, family. If you celebrating all these holidays that don't mean shit. Look, I can understand if a person says, look, I'm not rocking with African spirituality. I'm not rocking with religion either. Like, I'm a step back and ask questions and research for myself. This is a smart person. But to shun shit that you don't know about, especially when you're praying to a sky daddy. Like, look, I'm at a point now where I don't have anything negative to say about somebody who's Christian, as long as what you're doing is benefiting the community as a whole, as long as what you're doing is making you a better person for your wife, for your kids, for the people around you. I'm rocking with it. But let's not act like there isn't a piece of fairy tale in most religions. Like, stop it. So to treat a brother who fuck with African spirituality the way she is, it's disheartening when she's this old of an individual. Because I say, if you don't have a YouTube page about gossip about what's going on with celebrities, I'm not hating on that. I don't do that. I'm not comfortable in some of those spaces, but people like it. There is an audience for it. But I say stay away from this shit. If you're going to focus on the gossip and who shot John and who dating who, be in that space, but don't come over to some conscious shit and try to shit on it, because she brought up Brother Polite, who I'll go on record as saying, if you a brother who molesting kids, who's scamming our community, I'm going to have something to say about that. But at the end of the day, if you've given knowledge, if besides that, if your words and your information can be beneficial to us, take the meat, spit out the bones. Like, you ain't got to like a motherfucker to like their information. You see what I'm saying? And she bringing up people, and it seems like she has this negative type of trope about conscious people, and I don't like that when we appreciate gossip. We appreciate Christianity in its fullness when it comes to American Christianity. And family, a lot of that shit's bullshit. So if you're going to question something, question everything. That's my point. Let me finish watching a little bit of this, family. Hold on one second.
Why, when you made it public, you didn't make it public the way I made it?
Now I know
Why did you make it like you was the originator and you came out with it first and I got no credit?
I love your passion. I love your message. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I get a little distracted with everything that you got going on here. Okay. You know, as well as the viewers know, and everybody else that watches you, of course, because you say you are a very animated individual.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Being that you have done time, you speak so passionately about your ancestors. Have you been to Africa? Have you been to Egypt?
Hold on, God damn it. That is one of the most ignorant statements I've heard an older Black person say. Because again, everybody should realize it's about conversation, about communication. And we know this, but I'm surprised. I'm running into all these old motherfuckers who don't know basic tenements of conversation. It ain't what you say, it's how you say it, family. It ain't what you say, it's how you say it. So you can question the fact that, hey, you rocking with this African spirituality stuff and you doing all this, Have you ever been? There's a way to ask these type of questions without being so venomous, without being so not just nonchalant, but it's like a negative energy attached to it. When I almost know for sure. Somebody send me something and I'll apologize if I'm wrong. I know for sure she's a fucking Christian. Have you ever been to Jerusalem? God damn it. Have you ever been to any of the places in the Bible at all? Attempt to go. But you're talking shit about a brother who believes in African spirituality. How dare you? You fucking Christian. How dare you? Let's stop the bullshit. If you won't step back and question everybody. I'm questioning Christians, Buddhists, Muslims, atheists. I'm questioning everybody. Step back and question everybody, right? But I bet you this woman is a Christian. So how dare how dare a Christian question somebody who believes in Egyptology or believes in African spirituality? How dare you question somebody who believes in these things when you believe in fairy tales in real life? Stop it. See? But we shouldn't have to come to that level of contempt. You see what I'm saying? Let's start with respect. How about we fuck YouTube and making money off of talk? Fuck all that. How about we start with love? Like on some real shit. We can't have a conversation where we question somebody, get a lot of viewers, be real popular, but we start with love and just work our way back and have a regular conversation. I'm baffled by the level of ignorance by older black people. Teenager, 20, you're in your 30s, your early 30s, cool. But 40-something, 50? Nigga, you should be ashamed of yourself. Me listen to a little bit more of this shit, man. This shit got me, man.
I'm about to go. But COVID slowed me down. I was gonna go to Egypt, and then they dropped the COVID bomb, and I'm not taking the test. I'm not getting none of that.
But how do you speak so passionately about somewhere you've never been?
I'm about to go.
Okay. So what if you go over there?
But Egyptians were over here, though. You know that, right? You know the pharaohs and the Grand Canyon, right?
I mean, I get that.
Wait.
And they civilized. You know they taught. You know they came over here and civilized this whole everybody over here.
So you read that in the book?
Wait. Stop this shit.
The Mayans actually were civilized by the Egyptians. There's actually a temple over there called the Naga Maya Temple, which means brotherly tribe that came across the water.
All right. So look, only way my words won't make sense right now is if Tasha K is an atheist. The only way all this is gonna make sense, if she's an atheist and she don't believe in shit, then I'm rocking with her. These are probable questions. These questions make sense for an individual who's an atheist. I don't believe in God, Christ, Jesus, God damn it, Mansa Musa, nobody. I don't believe in shit. I get it. If she don't believe in nothing, then this line of questioning makes sense. But if you a Christian, God damn it, how dare you? How dare you? You see? So I say, stay away from this kind of shit. If you are a gossip columnist and you be on the who fucked who dating who, stay there. Stay there. Young Pharaoh is a young brother who, from all accounts, by watching him, seeing what he go through, troubled young brother, going through shit with his baby mama. He go through things. He said things I don't like. So what? You know how many black men out here lost? You know how many black men out here don't have an attachment to anything bigger than themselves? Ain't never read a book, ain't never did research on where we come from, ain't never took the time to get an understanding of who he is. You see? So when I see a young black man who's striving to figure out who he is, while at the same time using history and knowledge as his base, you gotta salute that, family. In America, where nobody does that. Nobody does that. And we got white folks who already look at us as hoteps and all this funny shit. But then we got black folks over 40 doing the same fucking thing. You see what I'm saying? Let me watch a little more of this, then we go continue, family. But this is disheartening to me. And again, I'm not shitting on Tasha K. She has created a large platform. Salute to that, sister. But sister, you got to avoid shit like this. You got to do a little more research, sister. You got to dig a little bit deeper into who the fuck you are as a black person. Because seeing how you look, I'm sure if we did the DNA on you, it's going to come back some African shit, right? So how about we all look for a real connection? Do you know how beneficial it is? Let's get to it. Do you know how beneficial it is for an Asian person or different Asian countries, Mexican person, Russian person, come to this country with their language and their culture intact? That's what nobody say about immigrants. Oh, how the fucking Hindus or Indians come to America and do better than you? And besides from the fact that they get a leg up and get loans that some of us can't qualify for, like, that should be obvious. The other thing is they're coming with their culture. I don't give a fuck how war-torn your country was. Y'all speaking a particular language. Ain't that some shit? Y'all still can just talk to each other if you wanted to. You got a home country. Do we know how beneficial it is to be an individual that has a home country? We are fucking stolen Africans in a foreign land that we help build, but still get the this is weird. Can we admit that? Being black in America is fucking weird, family. Your last name is Johnson or Smith or Conley or some bullshit that ain't got nothing to do with Africa. So excuse me if I want to read a book to get grounded. Right? Excuse me if I want to read something to ground myself to something besides these Christian beliefs, all this shit that don't mean nothing, that don't necessarily come from where we come from. Stop it. Stop it. And what if this young black man is on the verge of, I don't know, because you're talking to him like he a criminal. On some real shit, Tasha K, you're talking to him like he a criminal, right? Let's say he is on the verge of doing something negative. Let's say he is on the verge of doing some nigga shit per se. How do you think this conversation is going to fare? Like, what's the point of this conversation? Can I keep it real? Like, I'm not trying to be negative because I'm how people eat is how they eat. How people eat is how they eat. I'm not going to knock that. I'm not going to be nefarious about how I feel about that. How people eat is how they eat. And people who take time to build something, I respect that. But cut the bullshit. Like, if we not going to have productive conversations that can help somebody, what the fuck are we talking for? You feel me? So a little more of this video, man, then we're going to move forward.
And so that's my issue. It's like it's different from reading something as opposed to experiencing something, right?
Mhm.
And so my thing is you're preaching so passionately, which I love, and I love to see my black men going in a positive direction, okay, especially enlightening our people or anybody for that matter. But when you speak about something and you've never been there, I guess that's where the contradiction can be made. Do you understand what I'm
But
saying?
what is the contradict? Listen to me.
It's like me speaking about South Africa.
So I'm assuming what I'm going to assume, because I don't do this shit for clout to talk shit about somebody that's black. That's not why I do it. I want context. I want everybody to win. Like, I really do believe that. But Tasha K must be an atheist. She bet not be no fucking Christian talking about if you ain't never been nowhere, how you gonna claim it? I'll apologize for all my venomous if she's an atheist, right? But if you a Christian, Tasha K, if you believe in Sky Daddy, how fucking dare you ask somebody, how do you connect to somewhere you ain't been? Well, I gotta connect to something. The same way somebody Christian gonna connect to some tenements and some scriptures that ain't got shit to do with them, that's been perversed and rewrote and bastardized. Same way they can do that. But I'm only fucking with this if you're backing up and questioning everything, Tasha K. If you don't question Christians this same way, how dare you? You see what I'm saying? So a little more of this, then we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to talk about some other things I've seen too. A couple other videos I've seen that I want to talk about. But this is important to me, y'all. Like, I'm making jokes, but African spirituality, getting in touch with something outside of yourself, getting in touch with your ancestors. For me, my opinion, this is the mechanism we can use to actually free ourselves. Using what America has given us to empower ourselves has never worked. Name the thing America has bestowed upon us that's been empowering, that we can grip on to and progress positively in the right direction. Nothing. What, Christmas? Jesus? Stop the bullshit. Stop it. Lies, 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 perversion, manipulation, more lies. Right? So I'm assuming Tasha K's an atheist. Somebody sent me, she make a whole bunch of videos. I could be wrong. I'm not in it for that. Like, if she's an atheist, send me the video. I'll post that and be like, she was right to question him like this because she doesn't believe in nothing. But if she's a Christian, how fucking dare you? Pardon my French.
Girl, I ain't been
That's not
nowhere
true.
near
What's
that.
5 plus 5?
10.
Are you in a math class?
I was taught that.
Are you in a
on
math
my
class?
own.
Wait, he got you there, Tasha K. You said if you never been somewhere, right? You sometimes when it comes to knowledge or learning for all of us, somebody taught you, right? Somebody taught you. 5 plus 5 is 10. He proved a point to you, sister. Come on now. Who told you that shit was true? Somebody, right? So we all relying on people for information. Stop the bullshit, man. That's why I be thinking sometimes it's something bigger at play here. Like, why she fucking with this brother like this? Is it for views? Is it because she don't like Africans? What? Give me the antithesis of this type of conversation. What is it happening for? You feel me? What is it happening for? This type of young brother should be saluted. Let me tell you how to do it, Tasha K. Let me teach you how to be on code, goddammit. You interview a young Pharaoh who may have some shit about him you don't like. During the interview, you keep it real. You keep it professional. You say what you don't like. You have a conversation with him. You don't challenge him too much because y'all both black. After the interview, sit him down. Hey, bro, seen this, seen that. How could I help you? Need some info? Teach me something. If we building. If we not building, then we just niggas in blackface, then right? Then we just white folks in blackface. If we not building, if we created these platforms to talk and to create dialogue for nothing, right? Listen to a little more of this shit. This shit got me hot, man. I'm sick of these old black motherfuckers. Jesus.
So why I can't be taught this on my own?
But you weren't. You read books. You read random books of people who have experienced Egypt.
No, who
but
have been there. Who have been there.
Okay.
Who have been there. Have you ever been in prison?
So what if you?
Yo, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Shit. I'm sorry. Shit. So are we saying we shouldn't read books? What is a book? Do we understand how like a book on history or a book on knowledge works? Yes, cross-reference everything. First off, cross-reference everything. But do we get how it works? People spend time researching topics. Like, come on, Tasha K. Come on now. People spend time researching topics and traveling places and getting a perspective. Then they put it all together in a piece of work for you to consume. This is how this is how a lot of books on history and the different times in history, how does one come up with said information? You research, you cross-reference, right? And throughout history, man writes it down. Can we keep it real? We write it down. We write it on a wall. We write it. We say this happened. I'm going to do this so people can know this happened. Right? Then certain people take this information, they thoroughly research it, thoroughly look through it, and present information to all of us Stop the bullshit, family. You're too old to have this perspective, but I shoot her some bail if she's an atheist. If she's an atheist and don't believe in shit, then we can have a conversation. But if you're Christian, how fucking dare you? How dare a Christian person tell a person who believes in African spirituality, I need more proof. Really? You need more proof? You need more proof. Really? Man, stop it. Stop it.
You go and
Let
you
me ask you
find
a
out
question.
what if
Have
you
you-
go and you find out they don't even like a motherfucker like you?
That you would say.
I'm done with this shit. I'm done with that video for now before I get too pissed off. We got a lot of work to do, family. We got a lot. Again, only way this works is if she's an atheist. You telling him, how do you know when you go to Africa, they gonna look at you and say, we don't even fuck with a motherfucker like you? Okay, let's break everything down. Yeah, do we got African brothers and sisters who don't fuck with Black Americans? Sure. But the bulk of them, I would say, rock with who we are. The bulk of them don't have animus for us unless they've been tainted by this goddamn country. Or before they travel here, been told certain shit about us. But for Tasha K to be a 40-something-year-old Black woman, 40-something, 50-year-old something Black woman, to have this type of animus about African spirituality, this all signs lead to we got a long fucking way to go. Right? We got a long fucking way to go. That we have people in our community who treat knowledge as it's a goddamn sin almost. They treat knowledge as something you should frown upon. Stop doing that shit. Just because you don't know, don't mean it's some bullshit. Again, Young Pharaoh is a brother who has said a lot of things that I agree with. Sometimes he'll take an approach that I don't fuck with as much. But this is a young Black man. If you know his story, this is a young Black man who grew up in poverty, grew up in trauma. He has animus for his parents and the older people around him because he was raised in the 90s. He was raised in the late 80s in the 90s where crack and all these different elements was ripping our community apart and the adults wasn't shit. Can we admit that? There's a section of our society and things that have taken place that has to do with us, where you look at the adults and they've succumbed to everything around them, whether it be drugs, prostitution, welfare, you name it. A lot of Black adults have succumbed to their situation around them. And if you see a young man from that ilk who ends up teaching, who ends up seeking knowledge, this is somebody you salute, jackass. This is somebody you salute. If you got questions for him, if you got criticisms for him, pull him to the side and say that shit. But he ain't out here just shooting niggas randomly. He ain't out here negatively affecting our community at a high scale. He ain't out here on TV saying all lives matter. The nigga ain't cooning purposefully. You see what I'm saying? So my only point of bringing this up is we need to get off of this bullshit. This is a us conversation. Yeah, we can talk about mass shootings. Yeah, we can talk about Sleepy Joe and what the fuck he ain't doing for us. We can talk about all these things, family. But before we can get to the system, like helping us out, doing this, doing that, we got to create some common ground. We got to create some common ground. In an open mind, it's the best way to approach anything in life. So older Black folks, if you 40-something, 50, shunning African spirituality, shunning history, and reading and getting a perspective on what the fuck has taken place with your people, shame on you, and you ain't no elder of mine. Understand that. If you can't use your experiences to create a perspective that can help the young people around me, or the young people around you, sorry, you're not an elder to me. You just an old nigga that need to get out the way. You just an old nigga that need to get out the way. An elder, just so we know, because right now we got 30-something, 40-year-old grandparents. I'm one of them. I'm one of them. 42, 5 grandkids. You know why? I'm not stupid. I'm not throwing all this shit off on other people. Look, we started having kids early. What do you expect is gonna happen? And me personally, I don't have my granddaughters call me Paw. That's because of what their dad said and other people around them. I tell them, call me Grandpa. Right? I do this purposely. I know I'm going on a tangent, family, but fuck it, let's go. I do this purposely. I need to be reminded of my responsibility. Let me go there with y'all. I need to be reminded that I am at the top of the food for me and my family. I'm at the top of the food chain as far as men is concerned. When my sons and all they seeds, I'm at the top when it comes to my last name. That's a hell of a responsibility. I'm not going to try to duck that responsibility by you calling me some cool ass name. No, I'm grandpa like a motherfucker. I need to act like it. See, we got grandmas that want to turn up, get to the club, do all that shit. No, call me Meemaw. Call me all these names. Call me. Wait, no. Your grandmother is what she is. Ain't no coolness about it. We shouldn't have started so early. Like, we shouldn't have put ourselves in this position if now we want to know. I want to be called what I am so I can recognize the responsibility and stay there with it. You see? Recognize how big of a responsibility. Now, I'm being funny. You can create a nickname for yourself if you're a grandparent. I get it, but I don't fuck with it. I use it as a teaching mechanism. No, call me the full name so I can know I got the full goddamn responsibility. You feel me? So, speaking of nigga shit. Speaking of nigga shit, the latest in nigga news, right? So I want to play something for y'all real quick. Hold on one second. Real quick, because we talk a lot about these cops and different instances that happen with black men in police departments. And I always have people constantly hitting me, telling me it's not that bad, telling me all police ain't bad, telling me white people get harmed by police officers more than we do, all this old bullshit, right? And I think sometimes people just lose sight of like the sheer fear that goes through your body being black and being a black man in America. Like the sheer terror you feel when you a black man who your license is right, your registrations is cool. Nothing is illegal about your car. Nothing is illegal about how you traveling. But a cop get behind you and you start sweating. This is traumatic, family. This shouldn't be happening in the country that we live in. And people always tell me, look, it ain't all cops. Few bad apples. I want to play a quick video of what this officer said to this black man. And this type of shit is important, family, because these cell phones, these devices have saved a lot of black folks. These devices have become our biggest ally, damn near, more so than a cop, more so than a political figure. Because at the time of some shit popping off, without these devices, sometimes we'd be really fucked up, family. So listen to this real quick. Listen to what this cop said. Hold on one second.
Officer is caught on video. Take a listen.
Give me your driver's license, registration.
Listen closely.
If not, you will not be going to work today. Simple thing, man. This is how you guys get killed out here, man.
That's all I want you to hear. Now, granted, we're watching a small clip of a video. So apparently this young black man was getting pulled over in Miami and he recorded this happening because we understand how cops treat us. So the cop basically told him, Harry, now again, I don't know what happened before the video. I don't know if there's any aggravation, anything that took place before this video that would make my opinion differently. But from what we see, this cop told him, get your registration, get your license. This brother, if you see, he's working feverish, like he's working fast as hell to get this shit. He's under duress, looking for his license and his ID, right? Looking for his license and registration. The cop tell him, hurry up and get your shit. And then he tells him, This why y'all be getting killed out here. Nigga, what? What? So we be getting killed because we take long? Articulate this. So we be getting killed because we don't move fast? Family, if you don't believe as a black person in America, it's a war against your black ass, I'm sorry that it sounds so harsh. I'm sorry. I don't want it to be. I want to live amongst everybody and just eat fruit and go to the mall. And sorry, that's not where you living right now, family. You live in a country where you can get pulled over by a cop at any moment. You can get pulled over at any moment and your ass can become a hashtag. Your ass can become a goddamn reason to march tomorrow. All of this should mean, though, going back to the Tasha K shit, why would we be at each other's throat when this is the climate that we have to live in and survive in? What I just showed you with the cop, that's real shit. The Young Pharaoh, Tasha K, this is media. This is entertainment to a degree. But you see the real shit we actually out here dealing with? That's what we really dealing with. So to get a young man on your couch and talk to him that's black, you have a responsibility based on your lot in this goddamn country. Based on being black in this country, we all got a responsibility to each other. I know you don't like that shit. I know you would rather just frivolously do whatever the fuck you want to. No, family, unless, like I always say, unless you want your grandkids to get pulled over by cops and go through the same shit that black man just went through. If you don't want that to happen, family, you better knuckle up. You better realize a form of unity, a form of survival, and not just for the time being, but thinking about the future, goddammit, thinking about generational wealth, thinking about your grandkids, thinking about divorcing the nigga shit. See? Because we all got it in us, a lot of us, not all. A lot of black folks got it in us. You was raised in a certain environment, raised in a certain area. It's just in us to act a certain way, to talk a certain way. I get it. You better learn how to put that shit to the side when it doesn't benefit your livelihood going forward. You got to learn how to divorce that shit. You see what I'm saying? So this young black man gets pulled over. A white cop tells him, hurry up and find your shit. Now, again, I don't know what happened before the video or after the video. I'm always preference that. But he tells him, basically, hurry up and find your shit. Hurry up and get your registration, your license, all this. Then he tells him, this is why y'all be getting killed. Family, what are you going to do about how you're treated in America? That's a real question. Because we have, if you look at the news and how this country operates, this is one of the biggest shit shows globally. Like, America is one of the biggest shit shows, family. But you black in the midst of this shit show where they weaponize their laws, they use their actual fucking weapons. How we get treated in this country is a travesty. But as we talk right now as melanated folks, what the fuck you gonna do about it, family? What you gonna do? Twerk? Buy some Jordans? Think about just tomorrow? Are you one of them niggas? I've been there. You one of them? You thinking about just tomorrow? Not 10 years from now, not 20 years from now, not no type of investing, not nothing worthwhile. You thinking about eating tomorrow? That's all you thinking about? Family, you got to get off that shit. Because when I go online, I see people are outraged about how we're treated. If you look on social media, right? You look on social media, people, they protesting, they sharing everything, they saying they words about, I fuck with that, I'm with all that. But you got to move that shit from social media into your real life. None of it's going to make sense until you move it into your real life. It ain't about talking it. It's actually about being whatever it is you want to see in this world. How they always say the corny shit, be the change you want to see. That's actually 100. You know what I mean? You can't tweet black empowerment. You can't tweet black empowerment, but go back to doing some nigga shit. You right, Mac. You right, brother. I don't dispute that. The fact that some of us are from this landmass, original Indians. But I got a question for you, Mac, and answer this question for me, because I researched it a little bit. I talk about it a little bit, but if we all from Africa, if we're talking about Indians that were here first, which I'm not negating that. I think you have a claim there. Like there were people here first that look like us. Where'd they come from? Where'd they come from? Probably the same place, right? So I'm not saying create like some connection to Africa that can't be broken, bro. But learn your history. Learn, even you knowing that is a small sign that we thinking. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying, know your history, whatever that may be. And then when you do the ancestry.com and all this type of shit, you don't know what they doing with your DNA, and you don't know. You see what I'm saying? But we do know. We need to be. Now, I'm for sure slaves came here, right? Because we're not going to take the stance that the whole, because I've seen people say the whole slave trade was made up, never happened, can't find a slave ship. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Rosa Parks was a real person. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Harriet Tubman was a real person. If we're going to say these are real people, then the slavery piece, because I've spoken to, not my family, but I've spoken to black folks. I've spoken to black folks who has great grandparents who were slaves or was on a plantation, and they've gotten information about this, right? Yeah. Well, so when you say you can't learn history, what does that mean, Mac? Right? Because so it may be more difficult, right? Because Mac is saying, y'all, you can't learn history that's been manipulated and propagated by Caucasians. You're right. But with the internet, with books, with black scholars, I think you can get a pretty good grip on what took place. There's always going to be different perspectives. There's always going to be little holes here and there. But generally, right, you can get a good perspective on what the fuck happened to us. How we got here if we weren't here. There's so many different historians who talk about all of this, family. So with the right amount of time, with the right perspective, you can learn about anything. Now, to me, it's all about the truth. I don't look up history or look up what's happened to us so I can prove myself right. I'm on a quest for knowledge. Wherever that leads me, wherever the truth leads me is where I'm gonna go. You see what I'm saying? So I hear what you're saying, Mac, and I like how you're thinking, bro. But we all should do the best job we can of learning everything we can about the skin we in. This is learning about melanin. This is learning about Africa. This is learning about Indian. This is learning about the Aboriginal people. This is learning about the everyone that's had an effect on how we are here today. Like every because of course they ain't just slavery. Like you can go to we get a bad perspective about slavery. Like slaves was just okay with getting beat and whipped and not trying to do what's necessary to come up out of that. That's not true. It was a whole bunch of slave revolts. It was a whole bunch of fighting and bloodshed. You see what I'm saying? You're right. There's a lot of history about shit that has taken place with us, but we need to do our best to learn about it, right? See, that's the thing, Mac. Look up John Henry Clark. Look up Claude Anderson. Look, there's a lot of individuals I can mention, fam, who go past slavery. You right. The history books and a lot of information that we get here in America starts at slavery. But if there are African and Black American historians, bro, who go way further back. And all you have to do is have an open mind, intake the information. Whatever you ain't fucking with, you ain't fucking with. But there's a lot of information about how we got here. There's a lot of information about the African tribes that were like the African spirituality and how we didn't pray to a god. Like we didn't have some almighty being that we spoke to. It was more less like on some voodoo shit where it was chanting and it was silence and it was the universe and the environment that we're praying to and our ancestors opposed to a god-like figure. You see what I'm saying? So yes, things go back way further than slavery. It's just up to us to do the due diligence. It's up to us to give a fuck enough. You see what I'm saying? And with us being in the information age, it's all you can find information about how we got here. You can find information about, if you want to know what did African people practice in Africa, if you want to know who they prayed to, what their spiritual systems was, all this is available. A family, hit me offline. Like, if you want the name of some books, I got a library with so many goddamn books. Some of them I haven't even read yet. Let's start doing the knowledge. Let's make that part cool. This is part of the reason why I was talking about the sister Tasha K, who interviewed the brother Young Pharaoh. Family, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. Like what you saying to me, Mac, I understand what you're saying, bro, and I'm gonna look at that critically. Like, I'm not gonna just shun you and say, oh no, we wasn't no Aboriginal people. The Indians wasn't here. No, I think there's a truth to all this. Let's look it up. Let's talk about it. Let's be able to make a statement about what I believe is true. And if I find out otherwise, come right back here and say, look, I was wrong. This is the real shit. Let's get to that. You see what I'm saying? Fuck this ego. No, put your ego to the side, man. We at war. So sometimes I feel like this. We at the bottom of a goddamn slave ship argument. Well, nigga, you ain't all the way black. Well, nigga, you know y'all wasn't here first. You know they ain't find the slave ship. So what? So what? Newsflash, so what? We all at the bottom of a slave ship arguing. Let's some of these petty differences, let's worry about this shit later. How about we get free first? How about we get reparations first? How about we get a code of conduct that most of us follow when it comes to how we treat each other? Okay, look. So, Mac, question for you, brother. This is good. This is good dialogue. What do we do now? Because me and you can go back and forth about when we got here, when we wasn't here. Would you consider, Mac, answer this question for me, bro. Would you consider me and you the same? Answer me that. Are me and you on the same team? This will help answer my bigger question. Talk to me about that. Are me and you on the same team? Like, if we get pulled over in the car by some cops, do you think one of them is gonna look at you? I'm just this as an example. Do you think one of them gonna look at you and say, whoa, we can't arrest this one. He's Aboriginal. He's one of the Indians. Put him to the side. We ain't gonna fuck with him. Do you actually think that's gonna happen? Do you think when we are looked at in this society by the powers that be, do you think they're deliberating who was here first and who's African, who's Aboriginal, who has the one drop rule, who's half black? Do you think that is actually coming into play when we talk about our liberation in this country? Me personally, Mac, you can give me an answer, bro. I don't think so. I just did a video about this brother named, God damn it, David Loyola. David Loyola. I think he's somewhere in Florida, an African brother, African immigrant, right? African immigrant, been here since 2015. The cops, he got pulled over by the cops. He got out the car, which is something I don't recommend. He got out the car, tried to run. No gun, no nothing. Supposedly the car was stolen, quote unquote. He got out the car. The cop chased him down, threw him on the ground, put a gun to his head, blew his fucking brains out. Now, important question, bro. What do you think he's seen him as? Do you think he said, this is one of those real Africans, I'm going to go light on him? He's really from the motherland. He ain't like one of the American Negroes. No. He shot his ass just like he would shoot me, just like he would shoot you. So yes, what you're talking about right now is important conversation, and I don't mind having it. But at the end of the day, we at war, family. We can talk about in-house drama later. Like a lot of this shit, family, think about it, Mac. This is in-house drama. This is like some shit we can talk about over beer or something. But when the shit go down, don't we got to be together? Don't we got to be unified? You see what I'm saying? Because look, last thing I'll talk about, and again, every time I see a video, I always seek the context. I always say I don't know what happened before or after, but speaking about nigga shit, I seen a video of a black man. I'm assuming it was his son he was trying to shoot. So he's trying to shoot his son, and his son's holding a baby. So effectively, he could kill 2 generations with one. Well, hold on one second. See? So here's the thing. So before I get to the video I seen, me talk to the brother Mac real quick. Mac, so here's the thing, bro. We got to know how to have both conversations, but still at a level of unity. Because what you was just saying, bro, I've seen people come to blows damn near about this conversation, or have a intellectual masturbation contest, right? Where they're fighting to see who's right, and it gets disrespectful and loud, and we need to stop that shit. What you saying is important, but that's secondary to how we getting attacked. That's secondary to the fact that if tomorrow we all gotta suit up in a race war, God forbid, we all gonna be on the same side, right? See, petty differences. Because I have a problem at times with like how the LGBT movement is kind of, it seemed like it thwarts the black movement at times. It seems like the propaganda and the commercialization of it, and sometimes I don't feel right about how that is affecting our community, like how the propaganda and how we're being manipulated to a degree, right? But same thing about my gay brothers and sisters, gay men, bi men, trans men, pick your goddamn name, like whatever you want, him, she, he, we, be, fuck all that, whatever you want to call yourself, right? If the shit go down tomorrow and we gotta fight, trans man, get this motherfucking gun and let's get it popping, right? At the end of the day, that's how it's gonna be. So our differences need to be discussed in a unification type manner where we can discuss it, possibly disagree, and still move forward together. Let me tell you something. When we talk at the dominant white society, right? Do we know that white businessmen dislike each other and still make deals every day? I repeat, white businessmen don't like each other. Don't like each other, but for the greater good, for a bigger point, for something greater than themselves, they gonna put those petty differences to the side to fuck with each other. This is something we need to practice. I know we stolen Africans. I know we got these weird ass last names, but we got to come to some type of resolve, or in 30 years, I'm going to hate to see anybody black. If there's anybody my complexion still out this motherfucker. You know what I mean? So real quick, I seen a video about a black man was shooting a gun at another young black man that had a baby in his hand. So the point I was making is, from what I seen about the video, this is his son. He's pointing a gun at his son, right? So effectively, because the gun jammed, thank God, he pointed a gun at his son who was holding a 7-month-old baby. If this ain't the worst of us, I don't know what is, family. The black family. When it comes to us being parents and us having children in a family and building a legacy, we need to think closely about what the fuck we doing. First things first, black people, listen to the sound of my voice. All of us shouldn't have kids. You heard me say it. Everybody shouldn't have children. Just because your dick work and your vagina work don't mean you should procreate. Some of us then been through so much trauma, we aren't capable of being the kind of parents we may need to be to create a structured, mild-mannered, productive environment for a kid. Because we could talk about racism, we could talk about all the bullshit we have to go through, and I know a lot of our traumas are on autopilot. I get that, and I understand that, family. I completely understand that, right? But at the end of the day, we have a say-so. Like, our level of accountability is important. How accountable we are when it comes to procreating, when it comes to the decisions that we make. Yes, white supremacy is real, but you still have the ability to make decisions, family. You still have the ability to create discernment on whether it is you want to do said thing. Like, stop the bullshit. See? Both can be true at the same time. I think that's true, Mac. Like, I can't negate the fact that, like, some of our history, like, the majority of how America operates, I get that. But I will say, that's why I rely on my ancestors, bro. I rely on the older black men and women who've done the knowledge and has a knowledge base based on research and experience, and I pull from them. Take that information, take a little bit of that information to come up with my perspective. But I think it is out there, bro. You're right. It's been mixed up, but that's why I believe there are white scholars who have information that can be useful. But from my travels, I go right to the black scholars. I go right to the scholars that have spent the bulk of their lives narrating our history and gaining perspective from our history. You see what I'm saying? And even then, I'm still using discernment. You see what I'm saying? So it's important, family, but we got to start somewhere. And looking at this video where this black man is shooting at his son who got a 7-month-old baby in his hand, I'm like, we done. Like, that type of nigga behavior needs to stop tomorrow. Like, if you're going to pull a gun on your son, you should have never had him. If that's where unless he just, I can't even think of what your child can do to you to put you in a position like that, where you're going to shoot at him while he holding a 7-month baby. Like, the disregard for life in our community needs to be addressed, right? Like, how we treat each other on some real shit is amazing at times. And then let a white man in a suit pull up. Let a white man in a suit pull up. You niggas is going to get to acting all the way right. Why is that? You see what I'm saying? So the trauma and like the neglectful way this society has treated us has done a number on us, family. But what you gonna do about it? Let's just do something, Mac. Let's just do something. Figure out how you can help. Figure out how you can be of service to your people. But hating on your people, talking down to your people, being ignorant to the fact that we do need some form of a knowledge base, and being a person that doesn't seek out knowledge but abides by all the tenements of the Bible, to me, that's a confused individual. To me, that's sheep. Because you're right, Mac. They put us on like sheep alert, where most of us, not all, most of us is going along to get along. But how has that helped us so far, family? You feel me? Hey, Mac, bro, this is why I name my platform Melanated. Like, this is extremely intentional. What you saying is 100 right now, Mac. This is extremely intentional, bro. Black is a color. Let's keep it. This is a using the term black as propaganda. Like, that historically, that's propaganda. Somebody scientists made up black, brown, yellow. This is all this is all American propaganda. African American became popular in the 80s when Jesse Jackson and other political pundits wanted to lighten the load. They didn't want to be called Negro anymore and all this kind of shit. So, they kind of made a move to use African American, but still, that don't describe me. I don't feel like an African American. I salute my African brothers and sisters and I ride with them, but I'm not familiar with that culture, right? I've been far removed, generation after generation after generation. I've been far removed from that culture. So you're right. Melanin is really the key factor. If you want to look at it like on some real shit, melanin is really the reason for all of it. This is my opinion, family. Reading books about melanin and shit, the properties in melanin, how people without melanin act, not fail melanin, just people without it in general, how they act. Like, when we look at just the Caucasian man in general, his level of survival and how he thinks and a lot of it is based around the fact that he is melanin deficient, right? The sun won't kill me, family. Let's keep, let's keep it 1,000. If you're an individual that the sun can kill, you may be kind of savage, right? You may end up being on some savage shit based on that premise. You see what I'm saying? So these are all things we need to think about. This is your brother Harrison. I just wanted to come back, do a new show, probably be back tomorrow. We got some more shit to talk about tomorrow. But if you haven't done so already, family, subscribe to the Melanated Convo on YouTube. These shows are available on all of the digital platforms as well. So if you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, all these different places, you can find the show there. Go to Melanated Convo today. Go to melanatedconvo.com today. That's the website where you can find these shows. You can find news articles. You can find information about history. It's like an empowerment hub. You feel me? And I created that for y'all, family. You feel me? So this is your brother Harrison, Melanated Convo. I love y'all, man. Let's get this shit right. No divisiveness. Shout out to that sister Tasha. Shout out to that sister Tasha K. I don't have nothing but respect for her platform. But when we see things that are counterproductive in our culture, it's okay to call it out respectfully. If anybody do it to me, I don't give a shit. Let's call it out respectfully. You feel me? This is your brother Harrison, Melanated Convo. Thanks for the conversation, Brother Mac.